let us be aware that while they preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth, they are the focus of evil in the modern world.
We're all living in America, America.
We will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
America will find you, and we will bring you to justice.
We came, we saw, we died.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe it is July 23rd, 2024, and guess what? It is official. I'm calling it here first. Breaking news. The United States of America no longer has a president. I'm not sure anybody knows who the president is at this point in time. I'm not sure anybody knows where Joe Biden is. I'm not sure anyone knows where Donald Trump is, for that matter. All I do know for sure is that America, like that little birdie in the Dr. Seuss book, is walking around asking anybody with a necktie on, "Are you our president? Are you my president? Will you be my president? Please, on behalf of all of us, will someone be our president?" We would love to have one in this moment, these trying times. It seems that nobody wants to give an answer or even have a conversation about where our current President Joe Biden is. All over, the social media world, we see people putting out their theories, their breaking news, their ideas. Some people are saying he was abducted by aliens. He was trapped in an extra dimensional realm by some ghosts or witches or other supernatural creatures. But nobody truly knows. He could be holed up in his study playing a nice, long, invigorating game of chess with Hunter Biden. No one knows. All theories at this point in time are equally valid. Though there is one extremely disturbing point to this whole fiasco that I think we all need to face, and that is in the event that the Honorable Joseph Robinette Biden is incapacitated from his duties as the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Armed Forces. We are looking at a 3 to 4 to 5 month period where the Honorable, the beautiful, powerful Kamala Harris is anointed acting Presidenta of the United States. Now, some would be very happy by this. First woman president, first, I don't want to call her black. I'm not really sure what ethnicity she is. She's got that Caribbean flavor, a little bit of everything. First ethnic president. Barack Obama, he was whiter than Bill Clinton, so he didn't really count. But some people would be happy by that. Some people are terrified by that. I bet you down in Kentucky way, not too many happy people, with the thought of President Kamala Harris. That's not how those people down in Kentucky like to think about their nation. But whatever it may be, this is a possibility that we do need to address and to consider moving forward with this 2024 election season. Now, anybody with two brain cells to rub together and form a thought could have seen this playing out, respectively. It could have happened 2 years ago. I think everybody, even in 2020, was thinking that Joe Biden didn't have the the fortitude to make it this long. So, kudos to him. That was actually a lot more than I think even the Vegas odds were giving him. So there are many people who are happy, many people who are not happy. But it is going to create a new dynamic to this election. One being, what is the DNC, the Democratic National Party? What are they gonna do about this? Are they gonna hoist, the beautiful Kamala Harris up high, present her to the nation as a savior in these trying times?
I think I've been poisoned by my constituents! Oh my God! Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time? Yeah, he's got an egg, you might...
Or are they gonna do the old, Democratic switcheroo and kick her out at the last second as well? My bet would be that would be the case. I'm putting it down in words here. I've already put it in text on the old Twitter, putting it down in YouTube right now. I do believe that the final nomination will be Hillary Clinton with a running mate of Michelle Obama. I think that, anything short of pulling out all the stops for the Democratic Party right now would be fruitless. If you're gonna try to win fairly, you got to put your two most lovable and likable and deadly fighters in the ring. If you're gonna try to steal the election as well, not saying that's gonna happen. Not saying that's ever even happened in the past. We all know that legally every election is fair and incorruptible.
I believe he knows he's an illegitimate president. He knows that there were a bunch of different reasons why the election turned out the way it did.
But if you were to try to steal the election, I would say that also you would need to put two unquestionable characters in as your representatives, because let's be honest, you cannot question powerful girl bosses in today's age. Anybody who tries to question Hillary Clinton will get shut down as misogynistic, as sexist. I'm sure there's some other ists that people would get called if they tried to question Hillary again. It's been 8 years since she ran last time in 2016, and that was just barely made it out of that one. But I think the old tricks, they'll come back to work their magic this time. And if she has Michelle Obama as her vice presidential candidate, well, goddamn, you can't question two powerful, strong, outspoken women. Just not today, good sir. You can't do that. And if one of them happens to be, the most luscious shade of chocolate that you've ever seen, well, it's just that's free reign. Her and Hillary together, that's like a yin and yang of just woman power. So if the DNC plans to play a little games with this election, I would say their best bet would be put Hillary and Michelle together. Clearly, I don't think that Kamala has the mental capacities to carry out even one debate, let alone a whole 3-month-long election cycle. It would be entertaining. It's going to be entertaining. I mean, let's be real. It's going to be entertaining one way or the other. Whether you agree with me or not that, the whole election is a sham from the beginning and it's all just theater to get people going crazy and, entertained for a few months. If you believe that the election actually matters, it's still going to be entertaining. It'll be sad as well. but there will be a lot of hijinks, a lot of laughs, a lot of tears. And, for a lot of us who have long ago accepted the fact that the elections are a complete show, a complete circus, all this is, it's just a time to sit back and eat the popcorn. That's all it is. Watch people go crazy. It sucks, but from my point of view, it is what it is. Now, there is one hope to all this. My hope is that in light of the insanity that has arisen over the past week, it has been 5 days as of this recording since anyone has seen Joe Biden. No one knows where he's at. So, in light of all this insanity, there is one hope that I have, and that is that everyone, from the most conservative to the most liberal, everyone in America can come to the realization that now is our time to revamp the entire electoral process. No more, tossing up these stuffy old politicians who have been running the same scams for 30, 40, some 50 years. No more of that. Okay, they've had their day. I say we put this down to a celebrity death match. Now, to the death, fight to the death. I'm not the one to judge that. We can decide that as a nation. But I think that it's time for the celebrities to stand up. It's time for the people that America loves most.
Thank you. You love me. You really love me.
Come out and save the nation. There are a lot of good characters, individuals, personas that we could all probably agree have what it takes, or at least are better equipped than the current possibilities to come forth and heal the nation. Whether it be some controversial figures such as Joe Rogan or, Tim Dillon. There are controversial figures. It could be people like Beyonce. Oprah Winfrey has been tossed around a little bit. There are people on both sides that I think everyone could at least agree has what it takes to sit down in front of a camera and put words to screen and convince people at the bare minimum that everything might be all right. Because as it stands now, we have a bunch of lunatics in Washington from all corners of the nation, from every small town, somehow have tricked and corrupted their way up to Capitol Hill. And nobody wants to deal with that. So I say, why not? People have been talking for years about The Rock running for president. Let him. I enjoy his movies. My kid enjoys his movies. Everybody loves The Rock. I don't know if you don't like The Rock, you've been living under a rock, quite literally. So let him run. Let Beyonce run. Let what's her name? Wet ass pussy. Nicki Minaj. Let her run. There are people that are better equipped to represent their constituents than the old gray suits that are currently, sitting in the Senate. There are better options. So let's get together. Let's make it happen. I think there's a possibility. I personally, I think Jim Carrey would be a great president. He can impersonate damn near anyone he needs to. He'll go over to Moscow, sit down with Putin. He'll make him laugh. Maybe we'll get a peace treaty out of it. There are plenty of options. Hell, I could run for president. Maybe not this time. I will be 35 on election day, so technically, I might be able to sneak in a little bit. But there are many options. And if you know somebody, if the crazy old man that lives down the street from you is always talking about how he could save the nation, write him in. You never know. It might change the game a little bit. Because at this point, I think I'm pretty sure that all the rules have been thrown out. We see the DNC, how they just completely circumvent their own party rules to just put in whoever they want. I don't think there are any rules stopping anybody at this point in time from becoming a nominee or just declaring themselves even president. One thing I'm quite confused about, and if any of you constitutional scholars out there, please inform me. How on earth is Kamala Harris allowed to be president or vice president, for that matter? Because I thought this was a whole thing whenever Obama was running. That we really fleshed out all the details in this whole you got to be a natural born citizen to run for president, and you have to qualify to run for president if you're going to run for vice president. Now, I cannot for the life of me imagine how a woman born to an Indian and Jamaican parents could possibly have garnered American citizenship at her birth. It's confusing for me because even me, as an American, my child is not fell into some loopholes where he could not get American citizenship. So if that's not possible, how on earth can a person born with 0 American parents somehow at birth become American? It makes no sense. I can't figure it out. So like I said, if anyone smarter than me knows, please email me, call me, text me, WhatsApp me. I don't care. Fill me in so that I don't feel so dumb about this. Because if I can justify this in my head, well, that's just one more step I can take into actually trying to rationalize what's going on right now. As odd as all this is, weirdly, I think this is just taking precedent over what happened last week, the insanity of last week. I don't know if anybody remembers, but somebody tried to shoot Donald Trump in the face. Does anyone remember that? That was just last week. And this hat right here, it's not made out of tinfoil, but I'm gonna throw this one at you. I think whoever went after Trump was also planning on this whole Biden fiasco to unfold. I think they were going for the twofer. They were trying to get them both out of the way. That way they could throw Kamala in there, and then at the last moment, throw a more likable Republican candidate that was a little more friendly, to the shadows, if you will. So I think somebody's out there just trying to clean up a dirty, dirty mess. Now, who it is, I don't know. Is it the Chinese? Possibly. Is it the Ruskies? Perhaps. Is it the Jews? We'll never know. Is it some shady buffalo farmer sitting on his ranch in Montana, just playing the political pawns to his liking? We might never find out. Somebody right now is trying to clean up a mess, and I want to see the ending of it. This is better than House of Cards. Be honest, it might be Kevin Spacey. That man is insane. That man is an absolute lunatic. I don't know what happened with the allegations, but he's got some enemies. He's got some political clout, if you will. He's a mover and a shaker. He's rubbing elbows with some of the highest of highs. It could have been him. It could be him. He could have been on that rooftop in Pennsylvania. He could have been the one that left the banana peel on the floor in Vegas for for Biden to slip on, we don't know. But I'm here for it, and I'm watching every day. It's so sad. I've missed all the latest shows. You know, all these Netflix shows. I miss them all. They go over my head. But this, oh man, this I can tune in 24/7. You know, I can watch it. I can read it. I can create my own narrative. The story's mine to be told. You know, that's the beauty of this political reality that we live in. Is everybody's writing their own story. There are people out there that they have a whole idea. They have a whole summary of the past 2 weeks in their head that is completely disconnected from, you know, their next door neighbor or, you know, the actual reality. But, you know, that's what's great. It's like a choose your own adventure. Like those old computer games we used to play in school where you got 4 choices. Pick which one you like best, move on to the next question. Yeah, so I had to jump up. I'm hoping that by the time I post this, everybody in America will be waking up and I'll have the scoop. So remember, saying it here first. Biden is out. He's gone. He's no longer president. We are a nation without a king. The last time this happened was, I think, about like 32 minutes or some odd in 1963. You know, we were presidentless until Lyndon Johnson went up in that airplane, took the oath. So this is a rare occurrence. And it seems, you know, 2024, goddamn, this is an insane year because it seems like every other week there's a historical first, a historical moment that's happening. And we're all just sitting here memeing away. You know, we're all sitting here screaming at each other, calling each other commies and fascists. And the rest of us are just throwing memes at everybody. So we will see. Anyways, let's see what tomorrow brings. Guess we'll probably find out if he's still alive or not. We'll probably find out. Oh, so I'm reading. Hold on. Sidetrack. So I'm reading that in 31 hours, Kamala Harris has raised $81 million in campaign funds. $81 million. So you're telling me this woman that has been in the shadows for the past 4 years, who the White House has tried their best to hide and keep out of the spotlight, you're telling me this woman raised more money in a day than Joe Biden ever did, the most popular president of all time, than he ever raised. Okay? The DNC couldn't go and pickpocket an old lady for contributions to Joe Biden 3 weeks ago. Okay? You couldn't walk down the street handing out lollipops and convince a little kid to give you a nickel for Joe Biden. But now all of a sudden, in one day, Kamala Harris is somehow, people are just so enamored by her. People are so supportive of this strong ethnic woman that they have given her $81 million in a day. I'm sorry, but if you believe that, literally, they got a couple bridges, a couple seaside resorts to sell you off in Arizona. You know, I'll meet you there next week. We'll do the paperwork. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy that this is allowed to just play out in the public sphere of information that we live in, and people will just say, "Oh yeah, that makes so much sense. That makes a lot of sense. I can believe that." This is why I don't know. It's crazy. So, yeah. Let's see what the next day brings. I'm sure there's going to be some more surprises from those silly rascals. I'm sure, you know, I'm not even worried about what Trump's saying right now. He's on the back burner. I'm focused solely on the D's right now. but I'm sure he's going to have some jokes and posts and bullshit to throw out there with it as well. So that'll be fun. Until I see Joe Biden, until I see and I'll give it this, until I see at least a clone, one of the clones of Joe Biden, one of the body doubles, somebody who looks like Joe Biden on a camera in the White House. I'm sitting with the fact that I believe, he is no longer with us. Unfortunately, greatest president of all time, most liked president of all time, most supported, most popular, whatever most you want to call him. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a funny couple days, and it's still July, not even August yet. Like we're in the heat of the summer right now, and we got this crazy stuff happening. So anyway, thank you for listening today. This was a little short episode. I just had to get out there and throw out some random morning thoughts. So please do me the favor, like and subscribe to the channel. If you made it this far, go on Twitter, follow me there. Go on Instagram, follow me there. You will notice that on my Instagram, I like to portray a certain half of my brain. And on Twitter, I like to portray the other half. So if you want the best of both worlds, follow both. And thank you very much. Goodbye.
Let us be aware that while they preach the supremacy of the state, declare its omnipotence over individual man, and predict its eventual domination of all peoples on the earth, they are the focus of evil in the modern world.
We're all living in America.
We will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
America will find you, and we will bring you to
We
justice.
came, we saw, we died.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.